Welcome back. If you're just joining us, you're still on Good Morning Kenya, and as I mentioned earlier, as I said, we were going to talk about Sakafa, but not really. We want to look at the Kenyan context, the Kenyan football, and having the background of even what has been happening at Sakafa, and trying just to understand and find out what went wrong. When did the rain start beating us when it comes to football? And this is something that we're going to be talking about until we just get things right at some point, if we do. And to help us with the discussion, we'll be speaking to Hussein Mohammed, who's the Managing Director, Extreme Sports, and he'll be telling us from his perspective, having worked with the youth and in football, to tell us what is it with Kenyan football. Welcome to our studios.
Thank you so much.
And I really, as I said, I really hope we'll get it right at some point. Do you feel we will get it right at some point?
Absolutely. I think we have no choice. We have no option. Okay. It is now or never. We can never give up. We will never have faith with our youth or our children if we say that we had the opportunity and did nothing about it. Mm-hmm. So I think change is inevitable and something must be done, but it must be done now.
All right. Now at Extreme Sports, what do you do there?
Well, about 8 years ago, we started an organization called Extreme Sports Limited. And initially the concept was to tap into the niche market, which was bungee jumping, skydiving, mm-hmm. which is really what you term as extreme sports. But along the way, before we even started any projects, I sat down with a few friends and we reflected on the business plan of the organization and decided to go into a sport that is liked by the masses and something that can actually change lives of thousands of youth across the country. Mm-hmm. That's how we ended up with what is now called the Super 8 Soccer Tournament.
All right. Now, and having worked with the youth and with football, what is the general feeling about, are they disappointed with what is happening, but what is just the general, or do they also want to finally have a chance to participate even in national football?
When we started Super 8, a lot of these youth you're talking about were disillusioned. Mm-hmm. They had lost hope and they were just looking for a way, or they were looking for solutions. And I remember one of the challenges that we had to one of the challenges that we had to overcome was actually trust. For so many years, they had been taken for a ride. Everybody who started a soccer initiative was either doing it for political reasons or was doing it to scam them, and they had lost trust in the system. They had lost trust in anybody or any institution that was organizing football. So it took time, but with the consistency in how we professionally organized the tournaments, the trust came back, and that showed me and that proved to me that it's not all lost. We can still do something about it.
All right. Now, Hussein, there's so many tournaments that happen in this country, and you know, they should have been in a position to at some point converge, you know, that we can finally even get our best players from all that and even have probably a national team. What is your take on that? Because we have so many tournaments going on, and at no point is there something that really
comes out of it. I totally agree with you, and that is why the ad hoc tournaments must be put in check. Our tournaments have been consistent over the last 8 years. The objective of the tournament, whenever you hold a tournament or whenever you hold a competition, the objectives should be very clear. What do you intend to achieve? For us, we had a set of objectives. We wanted to keep the youth busy throughout the year. We wanted to provide an avenue where they would be able to generate their own revenue streams. We wanted to educate them and have building capacity exercises around football, which included the fight against drug abuse and also awareness on dangers of HIV and AIDS infections. So we had to involve a lot of NGOs as well along the way. Those were our objectives. But again, it provided the stage, because of the consistency, for us to tap talent. If you look at the Kenya Premier League today, and if you look at a few of the international players, some of those players were identified at the Super 8 Soccer Tournament purely because of the consistency. If we had that right from the grassroots, then today we would have no problems feeding the Premier League. We would have no problems feeding the national team, which is the Harambee Stars, because we have got systems right from the grassroots to the top. So consistency is very, very important.
Because